Hello and welcome everyone to day 4 of the Sign More Dream Clients mini series. 11 different strategies to help you land more dream clients in your business. Welcome. If you're live, say hello. If you're on the replay, say hello in the comment section. These 11 days, we are talking all things landing clients, like growing our audience with dream high quality leads or prospects, and then finding different strategies. 11, I'm going to share 11 different ones with you. This is day 4. So if you've missed 1 through 3, go back and check them out. I'm going to link them in the comments below. But go and check them out because they are really powerful strategies to help you land clients. Whether it's your first client, your second client, your 100th client, it doesn't matter. These strategies work no matter what stage of business you are currently in. Okay, if we're meeting for the first time, before I go any deeper, my name is Onyinye Anike. I'm an award-winning life and business coach, international best-selling author, speaker, podcaster, wife, and mom to 3 beautiful humans. And I help coaches, experts, consultants, people like you to master your message, to nail down your offers, and to position yourself as the go-to expert in your niche so that you can attract and land dream clients who happily pay your premium prices, so that you can make the income, the impact that you desire in the world, and have the time freedom without sacrificing time with your family, your health, any of those things, or your value. Strategy number 4, you ready? Is market research. All right. So what do I mean, right? You're like, what? What do you mean market research? So here's my perspective when it comes to market research. First and foremost, I believe you should be doing market research, especially when you're first starting off, but always in your business, right? You always want to have your ears to the ground, always want to know what is happening for your market, what is happening for your people, because things are always shifting and changing. And so the more you're aware of what's going on, and of course you can figure this out through your own clients, what they're saying and things like that, but the more aware you are of what's happening for your audience, the better you can create content and offers and things that will help best support and serve them. So when I think about market research, yes, you can do the polls, and yes, you can do the surveys, and there is nothing wrong with any of those things, right? However, polls and surveys are so limiting and one-dimensional because people cannot dive deeper into the responses they've given you. So you don't really know, why did they say that? What was really happening? Can they clarify for you what did they mean by that, right? You can't ask the follow-up questions that allow you to really dive deep into what's happening. I also want you to really have face-to-face, one-to-one conversations and connections with your ideal client. So market research was one of the first ways I landed a client, actually 3. One of my first, way back in 2020, when we moved online after the pandemic happened, I was actually doing market research because I was making a huge shift in my business. And I got on calls with at least 9 to 10 different people. And I was able to land 3 clients immediately after the market research, and then 2 more kind of later on down the road for it, okay? So that's market research is powerful. It's also actually one of the ways one of my clients was able to book out her group program, was just through market research. And so I'll explain to you why it is so powerful when you're doing market research the right way. Now, I'm not for pitching people in a market research call, because that's out of integrity, right? People come to you and they're helping you essentially on these calls because they trust that it's a market research call and not a sales call. We want to maintain the integrity of a market research call because people are coming to you on this call more relaxed, right? More able to and more willing to let down their guard, to be vulnerable, to share with you what is coming up for them around the challenge and what they're desiring and all these amazing things. And so if we have alternative tensions, it completely destroys that trust, basically, that call is all about. So you should never be going into the call for a market research call to pitch anyone. Not at all. I do not recommend that. I'm so against that. It's meant to be what it is, a market research. You getting information that's going to really support you to support your ideal clients, right? And really learning and really hearing what they're saying. So that being the case, going into a market research call, because it is one of openness and trust, is one where you're actually going to be able to hear what someone is really going through. You're able to then ask clarifying questions. Why did you say that? What's coming up for you? Can you clarify, or can you expand upon that? Can you give me examples of what you mean when you say X, Y, and Z? How's that impacting you? Why do you want that? Why do you really want that? Right? How does that make you feel? What are your thoughts when that's happening for you? So you see all the different ways you can actually get beautiful, rich information from another human being on how you can best support them, right? And this is going to be really crucial for you to be able to create content that resonates, that connects, that talks about their day-to-day, that talks about what they've tried, right? What have you been trying around this problem? Why do you think it isn't working? What are your frustrations? And so you get this wealth of information that now you can utilize for your content and your offers. And now this human being on the other end also gets a breakthrough. Why? Because how often do we sit back and actually think about, why do we want what we want, right? How often do we think about what's really frustrating me about this problem? Or, what are the things I'm trying? Why isn't it really working? And what is my motivation behind it? We don't take the time. We're just living our life and going through the motion most of the time. So this call benefits both of you, because that person, your ideal client on the other end, has an opportunity to really get clarity, to really bring up things that they may not be sharing with other people, to have a breakthrough around what's keeping them stuck or what's challenging them, and that what they really truly do desire and why. So that call, when it's structured correctly, because not all market research calls are. I've been on a couple and I've been like, what is this? And so there is a psychology behind how you ask the questions and what types of questions you ask, so that you get great information, but you also allow that person to get a breakthrough, to have clarity, because that's the greatest gift you can give another human being, is clarity around what's keeping them where they are. And then empathy around, it's not me, right? Like, I get it. This is why I'm not having this breakthrough, or why I'm not having this solution, is because these things are coming up. So when you're able to give that in a really wonderful space, right? Again, because they're vulnerable, they're sharing things with you in this call. And so how this ultimately works out is, when this call is done, if it's done correctly, you will have people literally being like, oh my goodness, this was incredible. Like, I've never shared all this kind of stuff with anyone. I've never really thought about it in this way. But then there's the gap that gets created in their brains, because they're not where they want to be, right? If they got on the market research call with you, it's because they don't have the solution they want. And so now there's like this place of like, how do I get that result? Like, you're asking me these questions, and there's a almost understanding that like you must have some knowledge. They may not 100% know that you do have, like, know how to get them there yet, but most of the time they'll be like, so do you know how you can help me? I've had literally people be like, so what do I do? Right? Kind of like, okay, we've done all this, now what's next? And that's where you can then, offer to be like, I would love to support you. I know how to support you, because again, you've heard everything they've said. The beauty of it is like, they're sharing everything. So you know if you can or cannot support them with what they're looking for. And so this is where at the end, you usually get the like, what's next? What do I do? And you can say, hey, I could love to support you deeper. I love to really go into how I can do that. But for the intention of this call was to do market research. So how about we do a follow-up call where I can really talk more about, what I offer and how I can help you get to the end result. Because you want to, again, keep the intention of the call. You don't want to do a sales call on a market research call. No, that's a big X. You then want to schedule a follow-up call with them, where now you can now go into the sales call, quote unquote, or just a follow-up call where you can just share, okay, based on what you shared with me, right? I took notes. Here's how I can help you. Here's what the next steps look like. And so that's when you had that call afterwards. Landing a client through market research is just the fact that you're giving people clarity and breakthroughs. And some people will reach out and say, I want to know more. How can you work with me? Like, how can you help me? And so you can then share how you can help them. There's also the aspect of, if someone's really shared something and you can see like they're frustrated and stuck and they really truly want a result, you can even share and say, hey, given what you shared with me, I actually know how we can help you get to X, right? Lose those 30 pounds in the next 4 months. Like, that's something I've helped people with before, or maybe your own story, I've done this for myself. I would love to support you if that's okay. And if something you're open to, right? You always want permission. We never want to like, here's my offer and just pitch people, especially not on market research call. But you can open that door and just say, hey, by the way, this is something I do. Is this something you're open to? Is this something you'd like? Kind of thing. They can say yes, they can say no, right? You give them the opportunity for it not to be awkward or weird and go from there, right? If they're like, yes, oh my gosh, again, you schedule another call, follow-up call, to then really share about your offer and really talk about what that can look like with you guys working together. If they're like, no, I'm good, cool, awesome, thank you so much, I appreciate your time and your effort. I'll follow up with you if there's any other questions or let you know what's next, kind of thing, right? So either way, you want to keep it casual, you want to keep it, light, you want to keep it, again, this person just poured out their heart to you. You want to make it and create that safe space and have the opportunity for them to decide, do they want to move forward and get some type of, solution, result, or are they okay, right? Either way, there is no expectation on this call other than to gather information, because that's the intention behind the call. The idea of it is when it's structured in a really intentional, strategic way, people have breakthroughs. They will want to know more. Okay. So that's the strategy for your next client. Do some market research. It's a win-win. For so many reasons. You get to learn a lot of information about your ideal clients. Your ideal clients get amazing breakthroughs through this call. And then at the end of it, either way, they get to decide, do they want to move forward and, get deeper support, or are they okay? Right? There's so much amazingness that comes from market research. I'm such a big proponent for it. Now, there's a second aspect to this too, and maybe you've experienced this. For a lot of people after the market research call, let's say you didn't want to move forward with people yet. Maybe you decided to take the information that you've gathered from everyone you've sat on a call with and create a program that answers, that solves for the big problem that they all kind of have in common, right? That big common thread. Now you can go back to those people after you've created a program specific to what they've shared with you and go, hey, based on what you shared with me, I've actually created a program that will give you the solution that you want, right? Based off of what you shared with me. You said these were your challenges, these are your frustrations, this is where you're at, this is what you've tried. And I've actually created a program that's going to give you this solution over here without any of these things that you've, maybe tried or didn't work, and that will answer these questions and support you in this way, right? Because now you're using their language. You're using what they literally told you on a call they're frustrated with. So now you can share how your offer is going to support them in getting the results that they ultimately want. And so you can go back to all of them later on and say, hey, I've created this as a result of that. And then you can make a decision to either go full-time with them, or you can create a beta program. This is how a lot of people start their group coaching program, right? They'll do like 10 to 12, arbitrary number, market research calls, and then they'll reach out to everyone and say, as a result of, this call, these market research and getting everyone's feedback and their information, just sharing and understanding what's happening, I created this program for you. Is this something you'd be interested in being a part of? And as a thank you for agreeing to be part of the market research call, I'm actually doing it at a beta price. So you could do that, right? This could be your beta group, and you can have them, you can give them a discount, right? Say, hey, as a thank you, right? You want to honor the fact that they took the time out to sit with you and share in such a vulnerable way what's happening for them. So now you have a beta group. And of course, if you're doing one-on-one, same principle applies. You can go to each person individually, custom tailor it now, because again, you know what they're looking for, and present them an offer that is irresistible because it is literally tailored to what they desire, right? So there's so many aspects to this, and I hope you're able to see that. But market research can be incredibly powerful when it's done the right way. And of course, as always, if you need deeper support, I'll link some as a way that you can actually learn the script for market research that actually gets you clients booked. Important part, take action on today's strategy. Start putting out those posts in groups. Start asking people, hey, listen, I'm looking for, blank type of person. So when you're doing market research, this is key. Sorry, I didn't put this in there. When you're doing market research, make sure you are actually reaching out to your ideal client. That's key. Do not reach out to people who are not your ideal client. Don't be like, I help women lose weight. And then just be like, if you're a woman looking to lose weight, can you do market research with? Like, no, be very specific. Who are you looking for, right? And we're looking for career women who are looking to lose over 50 pounds in the next, I don't know, 6 months or something, right? I'm looking for moms who are looking to get toned up in the next 30 days. Whatever it is, be very clear and descriptive about who it is you want to work with. Because if you're not, you'll get on these calls with people who are not ideal. And so when you make your offer, and when you hear what they're saying, it's actually incongruent because they're not the right people you're speaking to. This is so important. And I can go into this like deeply. But ultimately, make sure that when you are putting out the post and you're reaching out to people for market research, that it is the type of person that you actually want to support. And it is the person who has the problem that you solve for and the solution that you're looking to, that you can help people with. Okay. So make sure you're very clear in your post, in your outreach to people about who it is you're looking for and what problem they should have, so that you make sure that you're getting on calls with the right people who actually are your ideal clients and who have the problem, and not just a bunch of people who it's going to skew your data, so to speak, if you're not talking to the right people. Okay. So that was like my plugin that I forgot to share in the beginning, but that's actually really, really key and really important, okay, to your success. My friends, have a wonderful, blessed Monday, and I will see you tomorrow for day 5, strategy number 5. Okay.